You take one sip of water every hour. Smart. Make it last. That's death number 88. They found me with the water skin still half full. Dex here. I've died crossing the desert 8 separate times. Every single one was a different flavor of stupid. Before we're done, why surviving the heat almost killed me worse at midnight. The shaded rock that already had a tenant and wasn't happy about sharing, and the dry riverbed that drowned me in my sleep. The desert doesn't warn you. It just waits. It's noon. You're 3 days into the crossing. Your water skin is half full, and you want it to stay that way. So you sip, tiny sips. You ration like a responsible adult. That instinct is the exact thing that killed me. Here's what nobody tells you, survivors. Out here, your body sheds water whether you drink or not. A working body can lose around a liter an hour in this heat. You're leaking the whole time. You just can't see it because it dries off you instantly. And thirst is a liar out here. By the time you actually feel it, you're already behind. Sip too little, and you lose the race quietly, with a full bag still on your hip. I rationed mine like a genius. Like a genius. I went down with the skin half full and my brain already cooking. Death number 88. Too clever to drink. Too dead to brag about it. The real rule is older than I am. Ration your sweat, not your water. You don't save water by hoarding it in a bag. You save it by giving your body less reason to spend it. Move at dawn. Move at dusk. Sit still when the sun is straight overhead. And when your body actually asks for water, you give it the water. The canteen never saved a single person. The water already inside you is the only water that counts. Next life, I was sure I'd learned my lesson. Different death, same desert, same overconfidence. It's the worst hour of the afternoon, and the heat is unbearable. So you do the obvious thing. You strip down. Less clothing, more air, more comfort. Right? Wrong. Beautifully, fatally wrong. Bare skin under a desert sun is just meat laid out on a grill. The sweat you're counting on flashes off before it ever cools you. You burn across the shoulders, you dry out from the inside, and then you fold. Death number 87. Naked, sunburned, and extremely proud of the plan. Here's the trick desert peoples figured out thousands of years ago. Survivors. They covered up, head to ankle, loose cloth, over every inch of skin. It sounds completely insane when you're already roasting alive. It works anyway. That loose cloth traps a layer of cooler air against your body. It shades your skin and stops your sweat from wasting itself on the wind. Light cloth, not dark. Dark soaks the sun straight up and hands the heat to you. More clothing kept them walking. Less clothing put me face down in the dunes. So cover up. All of it. Especially your head and the back of your neck. That's where the sun does its quiet murdering. By now you're exhausted. And exhausted is when the desert gets creative. It's dusk. You find the perfect place to sleep. A low channel running between two banks. Flat, soft sand, out of the wind. Ankroet, a dry riverbed. Nothing has run through here in months. So you lie down, you sleep. You should not sleep there. The water came at 2 in the morning. And here's the part that still bothers me. It never rained on me at all. It rained somewhere I couldn't see, hours away, in hills I'd never even visited. The desert collected every drop and mailed the whole bill straight to my sleeping spot. Death number 94. Drowned in a desert, in a river with no water in it. Sit with that one. Here's how you spot the trap, survivors. Smooth stones, a sandy floor, banks worn higher than your head that's not a campsite. That's the record of every flood that came through before you. The rule here is not optional, survivors. A dry channel is not shelter, it's a drain. The ground out here is baked too hard to soak up the rain. So the water doesn't sink in. It funnels. It moves fast. It can show up as a wall, quicker than you can get to your feet. Never sleep in a riverbed. Never camp on the low ground. Sleep high. Sleep boring. Sleep alive. This is the one nobody sees coming. You survive the heat. You beat the sun. You're feeling pretty good about yourself. Then the sun goes down, and the desert flips on you completely. The air out here is too dry to hold on to the day's heat. The second it's dark, all that warmth just leaves, straight up into the sky. No clouds, no damp air to hold it down. A dry sky is a one-way door for heat. A place that hit you like an open oven at noon can sink toward freezing by dawn. And your clothes? Soaked through with a full day of sweat. And quote, wet cloth in cold air pulls the heat out of you like a pickpocket. I survived a genuinely brutal day once. Felt like a king at sunset. Froze solid around 3 in the morning, still wearing my victory. Death number 89. Killed by the same desert, twice, in one day. The fix, survivors. Prepare for the cold before the cold ever shows up. Gather your fuel and your cover while you still have light to see by. Build your fire before your shivering, shaking hands don't make sparks. And peel that sweat-soaked layer off before the night drops. The desert that cooks you at noon is the exact same one that freezes you at dawn. Respect both halves of it. One more, and this one's the cruelest. Because it isn't the desert that kills you here. It's you. You've been walking for days. You're low on water and even lower on judgment. Then you see it. Water. A lake. Shimmering. Right there on the horizon. You walk straight for it. Of course you do. There was no lake. Death number 91. Chased a reflection into open dunes and never walked back out. Here's what's happening, survivors. A dried-out brain stops thinking straight, and the heat bends the light into water that was never there. The danger isn't the mirage. It's that you can't trust your own calls once you're this far gone. So make your big decisions early. Pick your direction in the morning, while you've still got water and a working head. And the version of you, 3 days in the one chasing puddles? Don't let him hold the map. Quick one before the speed round. Which death would you have avoided? Tell me in the comments. Be honest. The riverbed got most of you. All right, speed round. Quick deaths. Death number 90. Marched straight through the midday heat to save time. Ran bone dry by afternoon. Time saved. None. Travel cool. Rest hot. Death number 92. Sandstorm hit. I kept pushing through it and walked one perfect circle until I dropped. When you can't see, you stop and shelter. You do not wander. Death number 93. Crawled under a shady rock to rest my legs. Something venomous already had the lease. Shade is rare out here, and you are never the first thing that wanted it. Check before you reach. So, could you cross an ancient desert and live? Maybe. If you drink when your body asks, cover every inch, sleep on high ground, and respect the night. That's 4 rules. It took me 8 deaths to learn them. Next time, the thing hunting you won't be the heat or the cold. It'll have eyes, it'll have teeth, and it has been waiting for you a very long time. Bring a bigger spear. Don't make my mistakes. Or do. I'll see it in my next life. Survive the past